Hey there, I'm Steve Adderholt. I am the race director of the Mingus Traverse. This is the first ever running of the race, and so welcome to what will be a great race on an amazing section of the Cocodona course. I'm going to go through a lot of information in this 2025 Mingus Traverse runner briefing. I'm also going to cover this same information at packet pickup, the Mingus Traverse specific packet pickup on Monday, May 5th at the Spring Hill Suites in Prescott. That's where the packet pickup is. And I'll be doing that at 7 p.m. This exact same information we're covering right now, plus a Q&A and updates from our course marking crews. So feel free to watch this and come to that. Feel free to not watch this if you're definitely going to come to that, but you should be tuning into at least one of those. So let's get right into the details, talking through the schedule for the race. We'll have a packet pickup option in Phoenix at our Aravaipa headquarters. That's going to be open on Friday, May the 2nd from 12 to 5 p.m. So if you're in the Phoenix area and don't want to drive all the way up to Prescott for the packet pickup there, you can do so at the office. We are not taking drop bags there. And we will have limited merch available, but it's a drive-through packet pickup option. Sunday, May the 4th at the Cocodona 250 start line. You can also check in for all race distances, can check in there. Sunday, May the 4th, gates open at 1 p.m. at Deep Canyon Ranch. That's the start line for the 250. We'll have food trucks there. There is a posted speed limit in Deep Canyon Ranch of 15 miles an hour. They have told us that if we can't follow that 15 miles an hour, we might not be invited back. So please drive 15 miles an hour or less. We'll have a shakeout run that NAC is putting together at 2 p.m. at the 250 start line on Sunday. So that's welcome to anybody. Packet pickup is going to be open from 2 until 5 p.m. on that Sunday, May the 4th. Any race distances, drop bags, and all the merch will be there at the 250 start line. Monday, May 5th, the Mingus Traverse specific packet pickup will take place from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Prescott Spring Hill Suites. Drop bags and merchandise will also be there. 7 p.m. I'm going to do that runner briefing, this same information plus Q&A and updates from the course marking crew. During that check-in process, we're going to check you for a few things. We're going to make sure that you have the course file downloaded to a GPS-enabled device. Typically, that's people's phones. So you do need to have the course file downloaded. It's finalized. It's ready for download. I'll cover that in a minute. We're going to confirm that you have Race Command's phone number programmed into your phone. You will have already received a text from Race Command at that point, but that phone number is 602-830-4526. It is a text-only phone number. You can't call, so don't call. It's text only. And unfortunately, international numbers we don't have the capability to send and receive text from to international numbers. So if you have an international phone number and you're able to find in the U.S. phone number, you can just send a text to that Race Command phone number. It'll be on your bibs. It'll be all over the place. It's in the runner guide. It's on the website. Text us with the bib number that is now associated with that new phone number for you, and we'll get that updated so you can receive those texts. You're going to receive a runner bag, a really great runner bag with a bunch of race goodies, a race bib, and safety pins. We'll have a shoe donation option that goes to Soles for Souls. So you might have gone through lots of pairs of shoes training for this race. And then crew chief contact info. So we have a link to a quick Google form. We would love to get the contact info for your crew chief. That's really useful for our Race Command team to have in case we need to get in contact with you or your crew during the race. It happens more than you might think. If you don't have a crew chief, totally fine. You don't have to submit that number if you don't want to. That's fine too, but it does help us out. And then Tuesday, May the 6th, you guys are going to start 6 a.m. at the Watson Lake Park. We will have instant coffee for you and toilets. You can drop off drop bags at that start line, and we'll get you started at 6 a.m. You're going to quickly join to the 250 course. and go through the granite dell. So this is a section of slick rock, and the it's hard to navigate through there, but it's going to be a big Congo line. So just stick with the folks, and it's a really beautiful area, especially to see right at sunrise. So 6 a.m. on Tuesday, we're going to get you guys started for the first ever Mingus Traverse race. The rules for the race, they're all listed in the runner guide, but I'm going to hit the highlights now. If you go through a gate, please close it. That helps us maintain our permits. If you do need to drop from the race, you need to do so at an aid station. Ask for a staff member. The aid station captain will take your spot tracker, have you fill out a drop form. Hopefully that is not the case for you. No dogs allowed at this race. A couple of years ago, we had a volunteer and 2 runners bit by dogs at different locations. A number of our aid stations they demand no dogs. So no dogs at the race. If your crew does have a dog, keep it in the crew vehicle. Don't let it out at the aid station. Gear requirements. So there are gear requirements for you. You have to have a cell phone and a GPS enabled device with the course file downloaded, headlamp, collapsible cup, space blanket, and whistle. So you need those items on the entire course. And there may be, if you're approaching this race as kind of like a hiking version of this 80-mile distance, then you might have cold weather gear required at the Fain Ranch aid station. So any runner that's passing through Fain Ranch starting at 10 a.m., so that's 11.7 miles into your race, 4 hours after your race start, you will need to have the cold weather required gear, because you're going to be going up and over Mingus Mountain, and at night it does get really cold up there. So you're going to need gloves, warm hat, long sleeves, an insulatory upper. So that's a top layer that has insulating properties like a fleece or a puffy jacket. And then if it was raining or snowing, we would require a waterproof jacket with a hood. It's not looking like that is in the forecast. But those pieces of required gear are going to be checked for runners coming through after 10 a.m. to Fain Ranch. The volunteers may ask you, because all the runners in the 250 that are coming through have a gear check. But if you're before 10 a.m., you're like, I'm a Mingus Traverse runner. It's before 10. I don't need the gear. You do need that standard gear, though, those cell phone, GPS enabled device, headlamp, those things. The weather really is looking great for you. It's going to get quite hot in Sedona, but nearly all of you will be finished by the time it gets really hot in Sedona. So we did luck out with the weather. It is going to be really cold at night up on Mingus. The course file is finalized. There haven't been any changes in the past couple of days, but I like to wait until the Wednesday before race week to release that, because many times, there are little tweaks or even major tweaks, not that we are enacting, but that our permit, the people we're receiving permits for sometimes at the last minute or make a requirement, or sometimes something comes up in the course. So from here on out, that course file is final, and then follow that course file and follow the course markings. Speaking of course markings, let's talk about that. So the positive markings out on the course are going to be one of 2 different pin flags. So this is the standard Aravaipa pin flag that you might see out there. There's also these heavy-duty bomber pin flags that we've been making. Lots of reflective on it, hanging at different angles, so you should be able to see it really well. And then orange flagging tape with the polka dots. So either of these are the pin flags you may see out on the course. We'll also have flagging tape hanging from trees or shrubs. That's just the positive marking flagging tape. The orange flagging tape with the black polka dots with a reflector. Those are all your positive markings. These are wrong way markers for you. They're blue and white checker pattern, so those are designating don't go this way. There will be sections of the course too where we'll have signs marking at an intersection. So there'll be a stake with a sign on it pointing the direction that you need to go. So these are generic Cocodona signs. They have the Cocodona logo without the 250. It's just Cocodona. And no matter which way you turn it, there's one of those logos that's up. So those can be turned in any direction. If you and when you split away from the 250 course, you're going to have distance specific signs, and they might be pointed in different directions like this. So like the Cocodona 250 specific sign may be pointed one way. Your Mingus Traverse specific sign will be pointed the other way. And then from then on, when you're out following that course signage on it's backwards. Following that course signage along your section of the course, you're following Mingus Traverse specific signage until they come back together, which actually doesn't happen for the Mingus Traverse. So you'll be following your signage for the rest of the way once those courses split. So those are all the positive markers. You might have a section where we will have a road sticker that's stuck on asphalt. So sometimes it's really hard to find a good place to mark when you're going through pavement and sidewalk sections. So those are great. You just peel them and stick them to the pavement. That's going to be your course signage for the race. We are a cupless race for cold drinks. You will receive a Ultra Aspire cup in the runner bags when you check in. It's great. It's a silicone collapsible cup and can go directly into your pack. Hot cups will be available at aid stations for coffee, tea, hot chocolate, soup, broth, those sort of things. But cold cups, you are on your own for. We ask that you keep your drop bags to 60 liters or less. 60 liters is a pretty large bag. So it's basically like a 2 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot duffel bag is 60 liters approximately. We want you to put your bib number and the aid station name on all of your drop bags. So we don't need your name. We don't need the mileage of the aid station. We want your bib number and the aid station name. So bib numbers have been released. They were up on Ultra Sign Up for a minute, but there's a lot of things going on with Ultra Sign Up. So if you go to our website, cocodona.com, there is a button that has bib number, so you can check your bib number there. Go ahead and label your drop bags. We will have the capability for you to drop a drop bag at the start line to meet you directly at the finish line. But really, all of your drop bags are going to, once you move them to the used drop bag pile, are going to meet you at the finish line. So anyone would be a direct to finish drop bag. There are the Mingus Traverse runners are going to have a pile of drop bags that are Mingus Traverse specific drop bags at the aid stations. The 250, the 125, those other distances are going to have different drop bag piles. And we want to keep those separate because once you use the drop bag, we want you moving it to the used drop bag pile in those two different locations. So this one will say Mingus Traverse used drop bags. If you put that drop bag, the used drop bag, in the 250 or the 125 used drop bags, it's going to Flagstaff. So make sure you put it in the Mingus Traverse used drop bag pile so that it can meet you at Sedona Ranger Station where your finish line is. Let's go through the course. Always our favorite thing to talk about. So I am going to be, as I said, doing this same runner briefing in person at Packet Pickup for the Mingus Traverse Packet Pickup. I'll also do a Q&A session and then review any notes from those course markers out on the course. So the first and foremost, I talked about the navigation through the Granite Dells. So you guys are going to start at Watson Lake Park and immediately jump into the Granite Dells. So that is an amazing section, but it is a little harder to navigate. So that's the first stretch you're going to come through. After you leave the Iron King aid station, you're going to start to encounter some A-frame ladders. So those are ladders that we've placed over a barbed wire fence to get you up and over the barbed wire there. Once you go through those, it's a lot of cross-country travel from near Iron King past Fane Ranch aid station. So you're actually going through the Fane Ranch and all of that. We're not on a trail or a road for a large part of that travel. So it's cross-country travel and high grass. And a good way to navigate it is to have your phone out, look where the course is going, and make a beeline straight in one direction. We're going to mark that really well, but basically, we're just getting you from one side of the ranch to the other. So just pick your heading and follow those course markings straight in the direction. At the Jerome aid station, so after you've made it up and over Fain Ranch, the Jerome aid station, or when you come into Jerome, you're going to pass the Sedona Canyons 125 start. They start Wednesday at 7 a.m., so the back of the pack of the Mingus Traverse runners might see that start. Come in and immediately join your course. The town of Jerome has asked us to stay on the sidewalk through Jerome. I got a call from the mayor during the race last year, and they asked specifically if we could have the runners run on the sidewalk. So please, I don't want another call from the mayor of Jerome. And then leaving Jerome, we pass through a number of private parcels. So thank goodness they have allowed us to run through those private parcels, because there's no great way to connect Jerome down to Clarkdale. Some of that section is really steep and not the best surface to run on, but hey, it's the only section that we can get through from Jerome to Clarkdale. After Clarkdale, you're going to cross the Verde River. The water level is below calf height, above ankle height, so you're definitely going to get your feet wet through there. There's no avoiding that, but that is right before the Dead Horse aid station, where you can have a drop bag if you would like. Going into Sedona, most of you are going to be going into Sedona in the evening hours and into the night. But if you are at the back of the pack and you're in Sedona during the day on Wednesday, it is going to get very hot. It is also amazingly beautiful, so it's like a double-edged sword there. There is going to be one water station that you will encounter coming into Sedona. That's a self-serve water station. There'll be jugs out there for you. Take whatever water you need, but it is self-service. There are two aid stations. Well, I guess one aid station and one finish line in Sedona. The Posse Grounds aid station, Sedona Posse Grounds aid station, is for the 250 runners. And then the Sedona Ranger Station is your finish line. It's also the aid station for the 125 distance. So those are fairly close to each other, but just know you're going to Sedona Ranger Station. The cutoff times for this race are quite generous, but we are strict on cutoff times. So those are times leaving the aid station, not coming into the aid station. So that quarter-mile radius that we talked about, having support from your crew at aid stations, you can receive support from your crew anywhere quarter-mile out from an aid station. That's all considered the aid station. So, coming into an aid station, you can access your crew vehicle before you come into the aid station. After you leave the aid station, as long as it's within a quarter mile, it's considered part of that aid station bubble, a quarter-mile bubble. At the cutoff time, that bubble pops. You're no longer allowed to receive aid within that quarter mile. You got to be on your way. That is the cutoff time. For Flagstaff parking, we will have parking at the LDS Church on Mormon Hill Road, which is just up the hill from the finish line. It's less than a quarter-mile walk. So feel free to have anyone come into the finish line to watch you. There's not a lot of parking at Sedona Ranger Station, but there's lots of parking just up the hill at the LDS Church. So LDS Church on Mormon Hill Road is in effect our parking lot for the event. If you purchased a shuttle ticket for a shuttle ride from Sedona to the start line to Prescott Spring Hill Suites, those shuttle tickets are closed. If you've already purchased one, you should have received an email with the details on that, but those shuttle tickets are no longer available. We do still need lots of volunteers, especially up on the Coconino Plateau. So after you finish, as the course continues and climbs up onto the Coconino Plateau, those sections we need a lot of volunteers, especially at night. So we would love for you to finish the race and then come join us to help support the other distance runners as they continue their race. You can tune in to the live stream. It's become quite popular in the past couple of years. It's going to be on YouTube, and a link for that and information on viewing that can be found at cocodona.com. We cannot wait to see you and get to experience with you the first ever Mingus Traverse race. This is really a spectacular part of the course, and we are stoked you're going to get to see it. So we will see you in a few days. Thank you so much.